She was hailed as the savior of the Swedish dynasty, yet her legacy is one of chilling detachments, cold ghost haunting the corridors of history. Born into the illustrious but tragic lineage of Queen Victoria, Princess Sibylla's fate was sealed as a potential queen. However, her life was irrevocably shattered in an instant on January 26, 1947, when a horrific plane crash claimed the life of her husband, laying waste to her dreams and her future. At just 39 years old, she found herself a widow, cradling a 9-month-old child who would one day don the crown as king. Confronting the unimaginable, she had to navigate the treacherous waters of raising a monarch in a post-war Sweden that held a deep distrust of her German heritage. This is the untold story of the Iron Mother, a woman who buried her profound grief to safeguard the survival of a crown she would never wear. Sibylla's narrative unfolds under the shadow of Queen Victoria, one of the most formidable matriarchs in history. Born Maria Alice Kalma Feodora Sibylla on January 18, 1908, at Friedenstein Palace in Gotha, Germany. She garnered the title of Princess of Saxe-Coburg and Gotha, illustrious title that belied a complicated legacy. Her father, Charles Edward, Duke of Saxe-Coburg and Gotha, originated not from Germany, but from Britain. As the son of Prince Leopold, Queen Victoria's youngest child, raised amidst the English language and culture, he was her favorite grandson, yet destiny intervened. And as a teen, he was uprooted from his familiar surroundings to inherit a duchy in Germany, one he scarcely understood, becoming a pawn in the game played by dynastic necessity. With the onset of World War I, his position became untenably a British prince ruling a German duchy. He was compelled to fight for the Kaiser against his own country. In 1917, he was branded a traitor under the Titles Deprivation Act, stripped of his British honors and insignia, transforming a beloved grandson into a political pariah. Sibylla grew up in the aftermath of this humiliation, shaped by her father's bitterness. His descent into radical politics led him to embrace National Socialism, creating an atmosphere rife with wounded nationalism amidst portraits of Queen Victoria that adorned the walls of Coburg Palace. This dual legacy of noble descent, intertwined with shame and stigma, became Sibylla's inheritance. Raised to embody duty and silence, she received a broad education that included the arts, becoming a talented painter and musician. Bearing the hallmark Coburg features of pale hair, blue eyes, and a guarded demeanor. As the early 1930s approached, she entered the royal marriage market, her familial pedigree rendering her a desirable prospect. Her match appeared to be Prince Gustav Adolf of Sweden, affectionately known as Edmund, tall, athletic, an Olympic equestrian, and adored by the Swedish populace. Their engagement in 1932 symbolized a reunion of Queen Victoria's lines, and personal chemistry seemed evident when they met in London. Yet their wedding in Coburg that October was shrouded in foreboding. While jubilant crowds cheered from the streets, swastikas adorned banners, stark reminder of the rising influence of Hitler. Although he had yet to seize full power, his specter loomed large. Sibylla's father was a supporter. Bewildered British and Swedish guests observed with unease as stormtroopers patrolled nearby, or celebrating amidst the encroaching disaster. Upon her arrival in Sweden, Sibylla anticipated a court akin to her own, but the Bernadottes were a different breed. Swedish royalty embraced informality, engaging with everyday people, cycling and conversing freely. Sibylla struggled to navigate this new culture. Her heavy German accent rendered her appear aloof, earning her the label the German from Swedes. Yet she faced one overwhelming imperative: to produce a male heir, mandated by Sweden's rigid succession laws. The pressure was immense. In 1934, she welcomed her first daughter, Princess Margarita, followed by Birgitta in 1937, and Desiree in 1938. 3 lovely girls lauded by the media as the Haga princesses. Yet still not the heir the kingdom required. By 1939, with war ignited, her father's overt alignment with the Nazis cast suspicions over her in neutral Sweden. Nonetheless, she persevered, giving birth to her 4th daughter, Christina. In 1943, with 4 daughters and no prince, rumors of a curse began to circulate. Finally, in 1946, at the age of 38, Sibylla gave birth to a son, Carl Gustaf Folk Hubertus. Celebratory cannon fire echoed across Sweden, Relief swept over the nation as photographs from that fleeting golden year captured a radiant family at Haga Palace. The war receding behind them, the succession finally secure. They remained blissfully unaware that their world was in its final months. Tragedy struck in January 1947 when Prince Gustaf Adolf embarked on a journey to the Netherlands. After a routine stop in Copenhagen on January 26th, his KLM flight encountered a catastrophic failure. A minor elevator lock malfunction caused the plane to stall at 150 feet, plummeting to the ground and exploding upon impact. Sibylla learned of the tragedy that afternoon, and in a heartbeat, her life's foundation crumbled. No longer a beloved wife, she became a solitary foreign widow with 5 young children, including a future king still in diapers. His funeral was a grand public affair. Clad in black veils, Sibylla stood stoically, her demeanor mistaken for coldness by many Swedes who witnessed her shock. However, the true cruelty was yet to unfold. The royal family determined that the best means of shielding the children from the aftermath was silence. Their father had merely gone to heaven. His name became a rare mention thereafter. Carl Gustaf later recounted how he grew up not only devoid of a father, but of any memories of him. He sensed his mother's profound sorrow, but never dared to ask about it. The political climate shifted dramatically in the wake of the war. Post-war tribunals exposed the Nazi regime's crimes, and Sibylla's father faced the specter of denazification, categorized as a major offender. Consequently, newspapers in Sweden began to question her. Was she tainted by her lineage? Did the daughter of a Nazi hold any legitimacy in raising Sweden's future king? Once again, the German princess found herself cast as a pariah. Amidst this scrutiny, Sibylla underwent a transformation. The jovial mother who roamed the gardens of Haga Palace was replaced by a figure of steely resolve, one whose life became wholly centered on duty. Her singular purpose became the safeguard of her son, ensuring that he would indeed ascend to the throne. Sibylla adopted a strict and formal demeanor, relentlessly enforcing discipline. To distract herself from her grief, she poured her energies into charity work, dedicating her efforts to proving her loyalty to Sweden. Photos from this period depict her aging prematurely, the lines etched on her face a testament to her sorrow and an addiction to cigarettes. As life pressed on, summers at Solliden offered fleeting moments of respite, where she momentarily relaxed, swimming and playing cards, letting her guard down for stolen moments of joy. Yet the world around her continued to shift. Her daughters matured into modern celebrities, embracing cars, pop music, and romance. While Sibylla clung to her Victorian inclinations, tensions flared within the household as her rigid control was met with rebellion rooted in contemporary desires. Beneath her stern exterior lay an underlying fear. One scandal could threaten the very foundation of the monarchy. Carl Gustaf, shy and dyslexic, became the focal point of her determination. She sought to fortify him against the world, introducing countless tutors and rigid structures to his life, determined to prepare him for the challenges ahead. Love in her eyes was expressed through discipline, with tender moments replaced by a motherly command. In time, the animosity of the post-war era faded. By the 1960s, Sibylla worked quietly to rehabilitate her public image. Her perseverance, diligence, and commitment to the duties of royalty earned her the respect she long sought. A pivotal moment arrived with the death of Queen Louise in 1965, as the elderly king required a strong female presence to manage the palace. Sibylla stepped forward, emerging as Sweden's foremost royal figure. With grace, she dominated the protocols of state, presiding over Nobel banquets, state openings, and national ceremonies with aplomb. Behind closed doors, laughter resurfaced as she reunited with old friends, conversing in German, relishing card games, and smoking with fervor. Nevertheless, to the public eye, she remained distant, an enigmatic figure shrouded in reserve, akin to a sphinx. As her daughters forged their own paths through marriage and independence, the palace grew quieter. Sibylla sustained her royal duties with unwavering precision, preparing Carl Gustaf for the inevitable day he would inherit the throne. The years of latent grief and unrelenting stress took a toll on her health, and when cancer developed, she chose to keep it secret, as she had masked every other injury in her life. Princess Sibylla passed away on November 28, 1972, the age of 64. Less than a year later, her son ascended to the throne as King Carl XVI Gustav. During his coronation, amidst cheering throngs who embraced their young monarch, the profound absence of the Iron Mother loomed large. She had dedicated her life to securing the dynasty, yet would never witness its future unfold. While history often casts her as a figure of coldness, the truth encapsulated within her silence speaks of survival. Shaped by exile, war, humiliation, and one fateful day that obliterated her happiness. She made profound sacrifices, exchanging warmth for the crown's preservation. In doing so, she became a ghost within that very crown, a silent architect of the monarchy's survival, ensuring its legacy continued, even as she refrained from ever breaking. Subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon to support our work and never miss an upload. Like this video, drop a comment and share it with others to show your support and help us grow this historical community.